So what is the problem that MAD is solving? Well, MAD ultimately is about creating freedom and prosperity for the world.
A lot of the discourse around energy, providing energy, solving problems is really, it's almost warring camps.
The results are higher rates, destabilized grid, brownouts and blackouts.
There's a major need for clean, abundant, and affordable energy.
So I think the problem is just that basic human needs are not being met right now.
MAD is solving the problem created by a centralized power structure dictating energy for political reasons rather than for the good of the people.
We want to provide market-based solutions by partnering with the people, not Wall Street.
You can think of MAD as kind of like an incubator or an accelerator for all of these revolutionary technologies all over the world.
MAD is designed to put the power back in the hands of the people to solve the clean energy problem.
The founding team and the directors behind MAD are absolutely incredible people who truly have a history of decades of success in the energy field.
We really started talking seriously about identifying the problems, which are pretty easy to identify, but we were all frustrated by a lack of solutions.
We designed a blueprint using the greatest technology that we were aware of to solve the clean energy problem, decentralize the grid, and put the power back in the hands of the people.
So we banded together, we're pushing forward, and we're announcing projects on a very regular basis.
In the MAD portfolio of companies and projects, there is an incredible ecosystem being developed here.
We're in hydrogen,
Geothermal technology,
Hydroelectric dams,
integrating renewables in with traditional power sources so that we can have grid stability.
next generation data centers, magnetronic motor technology, the way all of those can complement each other and work together.
And if you can imagine this ecosystem becoming more mature over time, when you're covering every sector of the spectrum, you end up bringing your costs significantly down, your profits way up. But more importantly, back to the MAD core mission, you are benefiting the lives of people all around the world in a massive way, which is so desperately needed right now.
I would say that we're making a difference by striving for perfect, but we're not going to pass up better.
People have the ability to accomplish so much when they come together for a common goal and a common dream.
We are offering equity ownership in the MAD company and giving the people ownership in everything we're doing, all the portfolio technologies across the spectrum. They get to profit from the development, the commercialization of these for the entire world.
If this is a mission that resonates with you, then MAD is the perfect vehicle for you to get involved.
the problem of clean energy and the lack of clean energy and the lack of decentralized energy is impacting people every single day.
If we fix energy, kind of like when you fix finance, you just change the world forever.
We're offering the people the solution. So get involved, take a look, and get on board.
Hey, T-Rob.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm more excited after I watched that video. Just mad energy. I want to have mad energy tonight, so hopefully we can bring it, huh?
Let's do it. No, I
Yeah.
love when a company has a nice, good video that's easy to understand, and I can just get to, what's the mission?
I know for sure. Definitely helps us tell everyone what's going on. But we have somebody that's waiting for us to bring her on. That's not only part of the Mad Energy team, but someone that is just well-rounded. Another powerful woman like yourself in the community, and it's just so nice to have her. That let's quit talking about her and let's bring CryptyGirl in.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Hi, CryptyGirl. How's it
Doing
going?
great.
Thanks for having me on. It's an honor.
Oh, it's an honor to have you. So we're just thrilled to have you. And we kind of opened with the Mad Energy, the video that kind of explains everything. But before we get into that, I just kind of want to get into who is Kripty? Who are you? How long have you been in this crazy crypto world?
Gosh, I think for 6 years now. Holy cow, since it's mid 2022. I got into the crypto space in mid 2018. And I've always had like an entrepreneurial spirit. And so after high school and a couple of years of college, I'm like, I wish I could do something in the crypto space for my career. So that's when I decided to found Kripty Shop and do crypto apparel. And that's kind of like my segue into like how I started streaming and becoming public. But I'm really passionate about crypto, as you guys already know, and I'm sure you guys are too. But we're decentralizing the financial world, and that's a huge portion of how we take back self-sovereignty for ourselves.
Absolutely.
I don't know what else about me. I'm a very joyful person. I like to see the good in people, and
Yeah.
I like to play frisbee and sing and dance. So yeah, that's kind of like me in a
Nice.
short summary.
Nice. So you mentioned college. What did you go to school for, if I may ask?
Yeah, great question. Well, initially I didn't want to go to college because like most colleges these days are just indoctrination centers and you're
Right.
tens of thousands of dollars in debt until you're 60. So I actually just did like more online schooling for college, and I took business courses and accounting courses because that was my backup plan. So if my business didn't go well in the first couple of years, I could get a job anywhere as an accountant. And so I got certified in QuickBooks. But I did happen to found a business right after college. So thankfully, I don't have to be an accountant. Yeah, but it was still good, a good experience.
Cool.
How
Very
long
cool.
have you guys been doing your Pulse Biz show? Biz Pulse.
It seems like 10 years, but no, we haven't been doing it very long. BX, what do we like? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
couple
I
months,
remember.
maybe?
I think I was one of your first guests because I know you streamed on your own platform,
Yeah.
doing the same type of format. But then I think I was your first guest on Discourse, and then right the next episode you were like, I would love to do this as a duo, as a pair. Bring some more voices in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we've done maybe like 6 or
Couple
8
months.
episodes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's we're still learning, we have fun with it. We're not perfect, but hey, it's content, right? And everyone should be
Yeah.
throwing some content out there.
Yeah, it's all beneficial to the Richard Hart Pulse Chain Hex ecosystem. And the more streamers, the better, more YouTube content being pushed out there, more new people that will come and see the space and the authenticity of you guys and say like, hey, I want to be part of this family. Good
Yeah.
crew.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, what I loved about what T-Rob was doing is really, we do a lot of talking about the Richard Hart ecosystem, and I myself, as far as my investments, that's what is over 95% of my investments. But the space that Pulse Chain is creating has so many different businesses and different opportunities that are presenting. And so I love the idea of getting to know who are these businesses, who are the people behind them, and like continuing to develop that trust, from people within the community, but branching out into a lot of different opportunities.
I love it.
Well said.
It's good.
Well said.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's
with
jump.
that, like maybe we should get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do.
Enough about us. We have you here for a reason. So let's get into Mad Energy, and on their website it's Energy for a New World. So explain to people that are on now that don't really know what the heck is Mad Energy and why is it helping. What's it all about? So if you could just, we only have an hour, so you have to.
Yeah. The shortest way I can put it is the vision of all the managing directors at Mad Energy is for our world to be full of prosperity and freedom, really. And to get to that vision, the managing directors are creating clean, abundant, affordable energy for hopefully all of mankind. And there's many different ways they're accomplishing this because they have multiple subsidiaries and energy projects. And it's a company that's being fueled by the people instead of by governments or by Wall Street. And so that's why I think we can actually make it happen. Mad Energy is interested in both proven and futuristic technologies, energy technologies. And the managing directors, this is kind of how it works. Inventors and corporations and teams come to the managing directors at MAD and they say, hey, I have this energy invention or project. Can you commercialize this for me or give me a business plan? And so then the managing directors analyze it based on, is it feasible? Is it profitable? Is it the right timing? Does this align with our vision for a freer and more prosperous world? So if it matches all the criteria, then they add it to the MAD subsidiaries and projects. And then they go to the people, like retail, accredited, you and me, right? And then we can invest in MAD's projects and become limited partners in the company. We actually own equity in the company. And MAD is the first energy company to be tokenizing on the blockchain, and they chose Pulse Chain. So it'll be the first energy company in the world to tokenize equity, and it'll be on Pulse Chain. So all of that is kind of how it works. Some of the current projects you may be wondering, they're closed loop geothermal system, LNG, clean liquid natural gas, magnetronic motor and generator, and they're in the R&D phase, research and development phase for wireless energy. So reviving Nikola Tesla's dream for wireless energy. Of course, it'll be safe. So they're researching it now, but yeah, tons of cool things. You guys can see more on the website, but it's not just production, it's energy production, storage, transmission, distribution. So a whole bunch of amazing things, and the impact of that will be massive.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's unbelievable. So, I mean, some of the stuff you just said, I don't even know what those are, but
it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm hearing you right, like if someone has an energy idea, they can come to MAD and potentially be part of it, or how does that work?
Well, it really needs to be developed into a working prototype first.
Okay.
And then if it's a working prototype that could be successfully commercialized, then you would contact MAD Energy on the website. There's a contact page, or you can call in and get in touch with the directors to review it. But I gotta say, there are a lot of people that contact MAD that don't end up getting added to the projects and subsidiaries because there's just a lot of projects that seem to fizzle out quickly, or that technology is already part of the project, or it's not worth it at this time. And our MAD Strategic Advisory Board chair is a 3-star Marine general, recently retired, who also helps to evaluate some of these projects, because General John Davis used to help set up the cybersecurity for the United States. So he has a lot of background knowledge in what to look for technologies. And he says most energy alternatives out there are just fairy dust. That's a quote from him. But he says what MAD has here is legitimate.
Wow.
Right. I mean, there's only so many projects that you can tackle at one time. I think what's most interesting, especially us being in the crypto space, is the fact that anyone can get involved with ownership by purchasing the token, is what I'm understanding. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the token isn't released yet because Pulse Chain hasn't released yet.
Right.
And there are different investment funding rounds for the different projects at MAD. So each of the funding rounds, 3 of them, would need to be filled first before the MAD equity token gets released on Pulse Chain. So even if Pulse Chain launches first, there may be a little bit of time before the MAD token gets released. But yes, holding the MAD token represents your equity in the company.
Okay.
But
And then,
before that, your equity is represented by the subscription agreement you sign.
oh, so even right now, you could be getting equity through subscription?
Yeah. So I've invested in MAD, and I invested 10,000 US dollars, and I signed a subscription agreement, which really is my contract as an investor that made me a limited partner. And so once those energy projects are producing, and it takes a few months, this is definitely like a long-term investment because you have to break ground and then develop it all. And then once it's actually producing energy, then you can start to see returns. But those returns can get issued to me before the MAD token is even launched. And so you can choose like check or credit card, or check or bank transfer for now. And then they're developing earning it in tokens or in Bitcoin or Ethereum, hopefully. Maybe Pulse Chain, who knows? So they're just trying to develop it all out right now.
Right.
Oh, I see there's a couple questions in the chat about that.
Throw this up. OX will the MAD token be a tradable PRC20?
My understanding is that at first the MAD token won't be, but they're going to work on having exchanges list the MAD token, and that smart contract will have a way to transfer equity ownership and then make it tradable. So that's a goal, hopefully in the future, but at the moment, it's not.
Okay, good
So
question.
just another question about the subscription part, because you had mentioned that there are like 3 different funding options right now. Is that right?
Yes.
So with your subscription, are you investing in all MAD projects, or can you delegate that I am looking to invest in this particular project?
Your investment goes towards all the projects. So automatically, like when I invested, my equity ownership went through all of the portfolio projects at the time. And I think there were like 8 for the REG CF, which was the crowdfunding round. So my investment goes toward building out geothermal and wireless energy research and the LNG project. Some of those projects get prioritized first, though, because the goal is to do the most good for the world possible. And so, like right now, we see a big energy crisis in Europe. People are having to choose between putting food on the table or heating their homes. And their mantra is freeze for freedom. So the LNG project in Suriname, MAD is a 50% owner in the recently formed Firebird LNG company, and they're partnered with Phoenix Development Company as well, who's the other owner. So Firebird LNG is going to capture and convert the flare gas in Suriname that is polluting the area and convert it into clean liquid natural gas. And that is estimated to be 18 to 36 months to get that project up and running. And once that LNG is being produced, they're going to both power Suriname and send it to Germany first, because that's a country, one of the most in need in Europe right now for energy, since they're really struggling. And it'll be the fastest project. It's estimated to be the fastest project to pull Europe out of its energy crisis. So that LNG is desperately needed right now. And what's really cool is that since Suriname has just been discovered to have one of the most oil-rich shores right now, the Suriname and Guyana Basin, which is in South America, like near Brazil, you also have to realize, like, Suriname is one of the poorest nations in South America, so their government is definitely pleased to be able to find this discovery and to help develop it out. So the government of Suriname is working with Firebird LNG and with MAD to fast track this project. So they've already permitted all the land for the offshore LNG production, and that permitting process just got bypassed. something that normally takes 2 to 5 years and costs $100 million. The government just like bypassed that for Mad Energy. So pretty soon here we'll have clean LNG going to Europe.
Wow.
And I know that was like a huge mouthful, but I'm just trying to explain it as simply as I can.
Yeah. So I feel like this question is kind of like what you're saying, investing now in the early funding rounds. That is essentially the SAC phase, right?
So I wouldn't put it that way, because all of the funding rounds give you an equal amount of equity, whatever dollar amount you're putting in. So like you're not going to benefit by being one of the earlier investors right now. I mean, who's to say what'll happen later? But I can't say that for the company. But there is no sacrifice phase. There's just different regulation rounds that are issued by the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, because before 2018, retail investors couldn't really invest in a big opportunity, a big startup company like this. It was previously only reserved for accredited investors, so people who already have over $1 million in assets. So you would just be allowing the rich to get richer, right? But in 2018, the SEC changed that law to allow retail investors, like the normal average person, to be able to invest as an equity owner in something like this. So that was the Reg CF. That first funding round was the crowdfunding round that was for retail. So you could invest a minimum of $500 US and become an equity owner in MAD. And that's a really small amount, right, for something this massive. But the managing directors felt so passionate about the people being the ones to lead this movement and to take charge of energy and to decentralize the global energy grid that they worked for months to enable retail investors, because it wasn't just easy right off the bat. They had to work a long time with brand new startup companies that also do this platform onboarding to do this. So the Reg CF has closed. The next retail funding round, that one will be coming up in a few months. That's called the Reg A, and that is also for retail investors, and you must invest a minimum of $2,000 US. And then the Reg D is for accredited investors, and that is still live and strong and running, and you invest a minimum of $25,000 as an accredited investor. So that's kind of how it works.
Okay.
And when did you say you think the next retail round will open?
So the date is still to be determined, but I'm thinking it'll be a few months from now. This is really just the building out phase, like gearing up for a huge, massive Reg A launch, because I strongly feel, my personal opinion is that this company will be viral, and I don't think it'll take long to do that, especially when you're working on such futuristic disruptive technologies such as the wireless energy. But yeah, so the team is really building it out right now, and looking into how the tokenization will work on Pulse Chain. So it'll be soon, but you can sign up for the email list on the website mad.energy to get notified of when the Reg A launches. So yeah, Heximus. And I should probably mention that my role in the company is social media manager. And then I'm also an advisor on the blockchain advisory board. And I've been working for the company as an employee for about 9 months now. And I saw this beautiful vision that the managing directors were mentioning on YouTube. And I was like, wow, I've got to jump in there and help these people grow their social media and share it with all the crypto space. And beyond that, just the retail world, because this is going to absolutely change the world, I think, and take third world nations to first world, like instantly. If you can get wireless energy sent there, then you can get them running water, hot water, refrigeration, electricity, cell service anywhere in the world. It's going to create affordable food and cheaper products and goods and services. Because if you can make that cheap energy and make it abundant through wireless energy, you're connecting like everyone in the world. And energy powers everything. It powers the blockchain, the mining, the staking. Like we all need energy in our daily lives, and without it for a day, everyone starts going into chaos and struggling. So I see this amazing vision. I'm like, I have to hop in there and help them, because through everything, I also want to create a lot of freedom for the world. So my mission exactly aligned with Mad Energies, and I love that they're tokenizing on Pulse Chain. So it really just brought these two worlds together, the crypto market and decentralizing energy. It's a beautiful, beautiful world.
Yeah. Well, I love your energy, and your passion for this is unbelievable. I mean, you can feel it, and people had. I was posting that you were coming on, and there was some comments just saying, "Oh, we love her energy." So you're
I
definitely in the
appreciate
right place, doing the right thing. So educate me on how long. So with Mad Energy, did they? I assume that they didn't start in crypto. Was that something later where they decided like, hey, we need to come into the crypto world, or how did that come together?
I believe that George Wentz, the founder and visionary of Mad, he foresaw crypto being the future and blockchain, really. So I think when he had founded it and was discussing it in 2018, 2019, that they were already thinking about tokenizing their company's equity. And then when Christian was brought on as chair of the blockchain advisory board, he helped implement the process of how this would work and connect the platforms to make it happen, and chose Pulse Chain as the blockchain to tokenize on. Because really, our whole team sees Pulse Chain being the new Ethereum, but even bigger than that, like a bunch of companies are going to be tokenizing on Pulse Chain. Personally, that's how I feel in the future. And our community in the Richard Hart ecosystem is so strong that we're all onboarding our friends and family like crazy. So it's definitely the place to be, right? But yeah, George Wentz, he's a very smart individual, and he's always keeping up with the news. And I think he just foresaw that it'd be a good idea to tokenize, and that in that way, investors could hold their own tokens in their wallets, transfer it at any time, have more security, have it be 24/7, and then have it backed by real world assets. So I kind of think of the MAD equity token as a hybrid between the stock market and the crypto market, and have it brought together. And you guys, you have to realize, though, it's not a cryptocurrency, it's a security on the blockchain. So it's like a digital stock certificate in a way.
Right.
And it doesn't have any utilities but to represent your equity. So that's the MAD token in a nutshell.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you think maybe we could go over to the Mad Energy website, T-Rob?
Yeah, definitely can. Let me just share it here real quick again. I dropped it off.
Yeah, and it's exciting because that new website just got launched this week. So you're seeing the new and improved website. Looks really good.
Yeah, it's definitely well done.
The team did a great job.
Yeah, so I love it. Invest in energy for a new world, which we kind of mentioned before. So here's a question for you while we go through this: is how close are we to wireless energy? I mean, is it, or do we have it now? Is it, so where are we at with that?
Well, there's a working prototype in Texas, and the managing directors did fly down with a couple other team members and Foster Gamble to go look at the tower just a few months ago. And George Wentz has actually stood there in front of the tower, seeing it work in person, standing in front of it, not being harmed. It was completely safe, the energy passing through him, and powering whatever it was, powering something a few hundred feet away, or maybe a few thousand. I'm not sure what it was. So that's still in research and development, but George estimates that we could have wireless energy in 5 to 10 years from now. But I think it's definitely possible to be sooner, because we have a huge amount of funding that just came in. So I think it could get commercialized a lot sooner.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, it is incredible. What do you guys feel about energy? What is your, when you hear the word energy, what do you think about?
Go ahead, BHEX. You jump on that one.
I don't know. Nothing is just coming straight to mind. I don't know. I guess I need a better lead.
But for me, it's, I think of energy. I think like everyone in America is like, we take it for granted,
Mhm.
like, and we're so spoiled. And when you're talking about different countries that don't have power for anything, for me, I'm a giving guy. So for me, it makes me just go like, why don't I think about that? You think about like no clothes and shoes and things like that, but I think a lot of people never really remember about, hey, they don't have any power, so they can't, and people don't understand that energy runs pretty much everything. I mean,
Yeah.
like everything
Mhm.
you do in the world has to have energy. So it's just so much bigger than I think our mindsets are.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic perspective. And even I'm still thinking about all the applications for it because it's not something that any of us really think about daily. We just have our sinks and running
Right.
water, and we have our electricity, and we can go have trade with our digital money, and it's just no big deal. Like all the clothing I buy, a lot of it has polyester in it, and polyester is a form of fossil fuels condensed and creating that clothing. So, well, plastics are made from fossil fuels. So, like literally everything we have in this world, all the products and services are powered by energy. And yeah, I used to think that when I heard of energy, I'm like, oh, this is just, they're talking about wind and solar or fossil fuels. Like those are the three big subjects
Mhm.
I thought of. But discovering mad energy, I'm like, wow, I think this company is doing it differently. And I think they're doing it correctly with their use of geothermal and hydroelectric, looking into waste to energy, like when you watch the movie Back to the Future and Doc comes back in his man in his DeLorean and he pours in like banana peels and soda cans and a bunch of stuff. That's kind of the idea of like waste to energy. And I think that their motives are actually pure and altruistic. So um, that's why I started to change my mind. And I'm like, I think they're actually taking back the word green energy and changing it and making it something that is about the people instead of just about funding or whatever it is. And it's just really exciting to see. It's hard to put into words, but it will do a lot of good for humanity. And it will do a lot of good for the Pulse Chain ecosystem too, because it won't just be crypto investors, but a whole bunch of other investors that are getting into the mad market, so to say, and that's on Pulse Chain. So, yeah, there's going to be huge growth, I think, on both sides, but that is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Oh, hey, what's up, Abit? How's it going?
So if somebody is on the website and they're looking to just, read through more information about all the work that Matt is doing, where would you suggest that they start?
That
Maybe.
tab, the green paper,
Mhm.
definitely read through the green paper if you guys want to know about MAD, because that goes more into detail, elaborating on each of the subsidiaries and projects, how the business model works, how the investment process goes. So, how you guys get returns and quarterly distributions and estimations for those things. So, definitely check out the green paper, and what it's all about and the mission, how they're accomplishing decentralizing the global energy grid. I feel like I've been talking a lot though, so you guys feel free to jump
I was
in
gonna,
and
I was
share.
gonna bump, I was gonna have that come up, but it seems like it's taking forever. It's probably my internet on my side, but
Yeah, it's a
we've had
PDF.
so many storms. we've had so many storms lately. I mean, last night was like a lightning storm I've never been involved in, and my internet's been terrible today. So hopefully I don't
Oh,
just
that
if I
happens.
if I go away, you guys got it, okay?
You bet.
I've
No,
definitely noticed it's hard to open big files while you're streaming. Like
Yeah.
almost
mhm.
every time I try to open something big, it cuts me out.
That
So,
is a big file too. It's
mhm,
slow for everyone. It's a bit slower.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully with once MAD is producing energy and let's say it's geothermal right next to wireless energy towers and that's getting transmitted everywhere, I don't see us ever having energy blackouts ever again because you're taking away power lines. There's no need for it. You're using the xenic wave that's just traveling the natural Earth's electromagnetic wave. So it
Yeah.
eliminates blackouts and our MADS project, MADS subsidiary, Golden Cipher, that one is for industrial controls. When can I charge my Tesla with MAD energy towers? um, so Teslas use lithium batteries. So well, actually, all your cars, no matter if it's a Tesla or fossil fuel powered, you'll just have an antenna on your vehicles, planes, trains, cars, and it'll just get powered wirelessly. And it could be in 5 to 10 years from now.
That's so cool when you think about that. It's unbelievable to think that. But it's like, to me, I think green energy is becoming kind of this, before when people talk green energy, people are like, what the heck's green energy? And I think like what I'm seeing is like green energy is the new thing. Like people are jumping on board because we're all trying to, well, a lot of us are trying to be healthy and for the environment and that sort of thing. So I think this is just the timing of what Matt is doing is just like perfect. Obviously we need it because it's not only just energy, it's saving people's lives. Like you said earlier, I mean, it's like third world
And
countries, it's
Yeah.
saving people's
yeah,
lives.
Yeah, I definitely think that the greatest innovations come from
oh,
necessity.
thanks.
Um, just the very fact that like I live in California, and if you drive to LA from San Diego, you can see a massive change in the color of the sky as you're driving because of the
Oh
pollution
no.
is so horrible in Los Angeles. And so I think that, and health, like the I don't want to just say that cancer is like all, because of like the society and the way that we destroy the earth, but things are a lot different now than they were, let's say 30, 40 years ago. And so these green technologies, these new innovations, they're coming because we need them, you know. And
Hmm.
I can tell that meta energy, I'm definitely, I guess I'm asking those questions for my own interest, because I'm very interested in learning more about what they do. A lot of those titles that you mentioned, I'm not in this space. I had no idea what you were saying, like
I
T-Rob,
had to learn it all myself too.
but
Yeah.
because you're in this space now, you speak about it so passionately, and that motivates other people. It motivated me to want to see what is this geothermal energy that they're doing, and everything else.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm more passionate about the result, the outcome. Like,
Hmm.
absolutely, because I mean, who really wants to sit down and talk about like liquid natural gas for a couple hours? Like, I don't think any of you guys actually want to hear that. But the result from this, the
Yeah.
result is like we could have wirelessly powered vehicles everywhere. And can you imagine like energy for pennies? Your electricity bill becomes pennies, and so much affordable farming happening that your food, it doesn't cost that much anymore. And the the computing architecture, Golden Cipher, is securing our power grid. So not just energy projects, but Golden Cipher is securing our power grid that has been so vulnerable. So if we can make that happen, America would no longer be such a vulnerable power grid to cybersecurity attacks. And I gotta say, our power grid currently is pretty centralized, that if we got attacked, I mean, and the power goes out, there's just going to be a lot of ensuing chaos. I'm not going to dwell on that on this show for you guys, but you wouldn't be able to even interact with the blockchain, no electricity at all, no water. So like I've said, but yeah, and I'm excited to be able to have a quadcopter powered wirelessly, so I can just like fly around and on my one-person jetpacks and quadcopters, you know. So I don't want to have to drive cars anymore. I think we should have spaceships everywhere powered wirelessly. It'll be pretty awesome.
I know when I was a kid, I definitely thought that the Jetsons was our future, and I'm a little disappointed that we're not there yet.
And we should be there. We should be there. We should have been there decades ago, because the wireless energy has been suppressed since 1903 when Nikola Tesla first started developing it. And each breakthrough technology really goes through a period of suppression before it gets commercialized, like Gutenberg's printing press of the 1400s, you know, and now we all have computers, so we've had this evolution, but it's going with our wireless energy and with some of these other projects. Golden Cipher, LNG is transitional, but these are going to spark so much innovation. It won't just be the direct result of these projects. It'll be a million indirect results, a million different outcomes, that there's going to be so many inventors coming out. And why wouldn't there be when they can have cheap, abundant energy powering their projects too, you know? It's this huge ripple effect. So, man, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, jetpacks.
Well, someone had a question, Maui Hexing, is there a range estimate? I know you mentioned earlier you're not real sure on that yet. I mean, you're still trying to develop that. So I'll just try to answer that one for you. You're not sure yet on the range of the wireless energy.
Yeah, we have to think of this as a long-term investment. At least a couple years. Think you'll be investing, waiting for returns for maybe a couple years or so, and hopefully it'll be like within 6 months, you know. But I'm not sure if he's talking about a price range or a time range. So just think longer term for the development of these projects, and probably for the price as well, because, well, let me say this: the MAD token starts at $25. Each unit of equity starts at $25. So my $10,000 investment got me 400 units of equity in MAD Energy. And so once the token is launched on the blockchain, you also have the potential for the token price to rise from $25 or fall. I got to say both sides, right? But if everyone in the world starts to be utilizing MAD's energy directly or indirectly, I mean, can you imagine what that would do to the token's price? I can't make price predictions, but I can kind of allude to what that would look like. And at first, it'll start out at projected 15 to 20% annual returns as quarterly distributions. But as a starting point, that's actually a pretty fair starting point, because MAD already has a lot of partnerships and buyers ready to buy the energy, such as Germany. So as a starting point, that's pretty good. And then, like I said, if the whole world starts to utilize MAD energies, then who knows what the price can do from there.
Yeah, for sure. So when we're talking about energy, I'm in Texas myself, and we had a cold winter. Yeah, we had a cold winter, and we lost power. The grid went down. They said they couldn't handle the cold weather, and which made no sense at all. I mean, everybody runs air conditioners pretty much 10 months out of the year here, but it was rough. It was like I had no power for 7 days, so I had no water, had nothing, and it was cold. I mean, it's probably one of the worst cold spells they've ever had here. So it was like, that real quick time, and I'm like, wow, is energy important or not? So, but
was that during the Colonial Pipeline hack?
I don't know. I don't know if that's what it was or not. I can't. It was
last year, right?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah.
I don't
Those
think they
same
ever really
lines.
came out and said what it was. But
Oh,
it had
okay.
to be. It had to be something like the grid just doesn't go down. I mean, like
Right.
it didn't make any sense. But,
Yeah, with the Colonial Pipeline hack, pretty much the whole West Coast, the whole East Coast, like from Texas all the way over, like 2/3 of the United States got crippled with just that pipeline going down. Golden Cipher would solve that. You would never have a pipeline hack again. But yeah, it is rough. 7 days without energy. Is that what you said?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was,
7 days.
yeah,
That's absolutely
yeah,
too long. That would never happen again with Matt's projects implemented.
yeah,
But yeah, there's a lot that can happen in 7 days, and people could freeze to death or not be able to buy produce at the grocery stores. You have to be thinking about that. Those
yeah,
kind of things. Having water storage on hand or food storage, extra blankets and candles around your home. But we won't have to think that way for much longer. In a couple of years, I think everything will be on the up and up.
yeah. Well, good.
Well, yeah, thank you for letting me just talk about MAD, and you guys can see how passionate I am about it.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
so many applications to the projects of it, and
Yeah.
I'm really thankful that it's crossing roads with the Pulse ecosystem, because this is a fantastic community, and I love that all you guys are learning about it, and that this will do a lot of good for the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
We're gonna be at PulseCon. Mad Energy will be at PulseCon. George Wen's the founder. He'll be a keynote speaker, and they're bringing Foster Gamble. He's from the Procter and Gamble family, but got disowned by them because he actually is altruistic and wants to do a lot of good for the world. But yeah, Foster Gamble will be there. He'll be a keynote speaker. He created the Thrive movies, and he's known for that whole movement. So yeah, I'm super excited for PulseCon. I hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Definitely be at PostCom. We are actually hosting a golf tournament on Labor Day, the day before. It's like the kickoff to
Oh,
PostCon.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need to
In
get
Las
in that.
Vegas?
in Las Vegas. The kickoff to PostCon. Yep.
Well, maybe I could come watch. I haven't actually learned to play golf yet, besides like mini golf, but
Oh,
that sounds really fun.
It's gonna be great. Yeah,
Are
PostCon.
you
The
gonna
whole
play?
thing.
Are you gonna play, BHEX?
Oh, am I gonna play? Oh, I'm
Mhm.
entirely too busy. I would love to be able to play, but I'm a little too like anal about getting things organized and done to relax while I'm hosting an event.
yeah.
Are you helping to host it?
It is my team that is hosting it,
Oh, awesome.
KFB.TV. Yeah, it's one of our road trip events.
Well, good for you guys. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to put a
That'll
team
be
together,
totally
so
fun.
hopefully I can get in it.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
And
Yes.
when we donate with our credit card, how do we get the tokens to our wallets? I don't know if that's
The company will get in touch with you and ask for the wallet address you want it sent to. So
Thank you for that question. And your money.
So all
Yeah.
of your investment now, even though you can get in these early rounds, it will be completely tokenized once it does become a token.
once all the rounds are full,
Mhm.
then the token will be issued on Pulse Chain.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think that's per regulation, like why it has to work that way.
Hmm.
So the whole Mad Energy, the whole company, it's fully SEC compliant. But
Okay.
yeah,
So
it's a
here's
really cool opportunity.
Yeah, I love what they're doing and it's a great opportunity, not only to probably no financial advice, but to do, okay financially, but to do great for the world. I mean, that's even more important than money for sure. So Kripty, what else you got going on? I mean, I know you're involved in a lot of different things, and Mad's like the one big thing, but you're more than that. So tell us, what I know you have. I think have a clothing line or a merch line or something, right? So talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of my projects, kind of my side hustle, side hobby, really. I'm wearing one of my hex shirts from Kripty shop. I
Nice.
founded that in March 2020. So I just had my 2-year anniversary, and yeah, I'm selling mostly hex merchandise right now. There's some other cryptocurrencies too, but I love designing the all over print hoodies and t-shirts, selling the flex fit caps. And it's really just to spread the message about cryptocurrency because I want to spread adoption just like you guys. So I'm like, I think that's the best way I can contribute to the space. After my couple years at high school and college, I think that was the best way I knew how to contribute to. Because when I was, I think when I was 12 years old, I wanted to be a fashion designer. And then I realized that they didn't make very much and it was kind of a challenging industry and not very fun. And so I'm like, oh, I don't want to be a fashion designer anymore. Then who knows? What do you know? Like
Yeah.
graduate and then technically I'm a fashion designer again. But it's for the crypto niche and it's something I love. And it kind of helps me learn more about the business world and keeping up with like tax regulations and stuff. So it's really made me a lot more business savvy. And I've kind of translated that into other businesses and industries for my local community and helping them out. How I learned social media and got involved with MAD. Tons of great connections through that. And yeah, I try to carry the most quality materials I can find for my shop. But like I said, it's more of a hobby right now since I don't have much time for it anymore.
Sure. Sure.
And I'm pretty active locally in my community.
Good.
Yeah.
As social media, what was your title again with Matt? You are
Social
the
media director.
director. What all does that really include? Like, are you guys real active on different platforms? If so, which ones?
Yeah, we're most active on YouTube, and
Mhm.
that one I'm not as much. I'm not the poster and video producer for that. We have Christian who's heading that up right now, but I manage Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, LinkedIn, sometimes Vimeo or some other platforms that are smaller, but those are the main ones. And a lot of times Twitter is the most active. And on Instagram, I'll take highlight clips from the YouTube videos and post it there. And I haven't had since the team is still small, the MAD team, it's still just a handful of people who started this up, right? Each of the team members are sharing probably at least 3 normal roles in a business that's already established. And then once you get up to like, a big corporation size in the top 500, like each, we're probably all doing like, I don't know, 7 jobs of a top 500 company. So besides helping out with the posting, I'm head of the community ambassador program. So I get connected with all the ambassadors and we get this game plan going. And I put together resources for them. And we all go out there and spread the word at the same time. And I put together videos from the community. I just posted it the second to last YouTube video. So if you guys want to see who the MAD community is, we have a bunch of Hexicans in our community too. So it's really the voice of the people coming through and being demonstrated, and it's movement led by the people. So that's why I want to capture videos of everyone saying like, yes, we are the ones taking this forward and establishing this. So
yeah,
tons of fun.
And one thing, I'm kind of thinking about this, and I don't know, but BHEX, is MAD going to be part of what you've got going on? Are you guys talking about that?
Of
it
course,
sounds like it'd be a good fit.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely love for them to, if they see, the time to be able to come out to one of our events or more than one. We would love to have them there. So I'm sure we'll talk again in the future.
That sounds amazing. I think they would enjoy that too. Yeah, we will. And I just remembered, T-Rob, you also have Hex community jobs postings, right?
I do, yeah.
That's a really cool initiative too. Thanks for doing that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, It's slow. It's funny because when I started that, I kind of went to some people in the community that were bigger, and they're like, "Oh yeah, people have talked about it, nobody's ever done it." And I was talking to my partner another day. I'm like, I kind of think I see why people hasn't done this. It's not really being utilized right now, so we're working on trying to figure out how to get it more utilized.
I think it'll be useful once Pulse is launched because,
Yeah.
I mean, our community will grow so much. I think it'll be, there'll be probably hexagons in every city. So for like the p-hex being launched, I think that'll be useful for them to connect with hexagons to employ or to be employed. It's a really cool thing.
Yeah. And thank you.
It's a labor of love, T-Rob.
I hear you. Yeah, it's patience. I'm not very good at being patient, so I'm learning that. My wife tells me that that's one thing I still need to work on. So, so I'm trying.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah. So we've got about 5 minutes. What else do you want to chat about, Kripty? Is there some? Let's talk about the community. Let's talk about let's get into like this big dip that we're seeing right now. What are you guys feeling on it? What's your plan? I mean, are you stressing? Are you buying? What are you doing?
B-Hex, do you want to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I love talking about Hex. So I wish I could be buying more. Unfortunately, I just don't have that much liquid. I mean, look, we sacrificed for Pulse Chain, we sacrificed for Pulse X. You might have sacrificed for one of these other many, sacrifices that have came around. And so I really just don't have the dry powder that I would want right now. I didn't necessarily see the price going to where it is, but I think that Richard putting a date on it had a big impact on it. I think had he just continued to say, 4 more weeks or a few more weeks or something like that, then it wouldn't have been like the mass exodus. But you have people that are trying to play the game, right? He said mid-May, and so that made people rush in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, it's not, oh, he's playing us. It could be another month or two. So then they rush out hoping that he'll again put another date on it. I don't think he will. I think that when it does launch, it's just going to launch this time because he, learned from how the community and, the community is much bigger than it was, right? So I think when you're dealing with mainly hexagons, we all tend to, Richard, you got it. We trust you, But with Pulse Chain, you're dealing with a lot of just traders, crypto people that were looking for the next, big thing.
Yeah.
So that's why we're seeing so much volatility. But once Pulse Chain is launched, the FOMO will kick in so crazy. There are so many people that sacrifice way more than they needed to or should have for Pulse X because their plan was to get some Pulse Chain since they missed that one, and so it's still a lot of people that didn't sacrifice for any of them. So we're going to see, significant trend to the upside, once we have launched. We just may see 5 cents before it does, but if it does, I'll sell my house. It goes to 5 cents. Like I'm already backing up anyways. Like I will call my lady and be like, I need this sold yesterday.
All right, we got that recorded, so we're gonna hold you to it.
5 cents, it's gone.
Yeah, you could just live in like a mobile home for a few months.
I've been shopping RVs for the last 3 weeks. It's happening anyway for this tour. If it goes to 5 cents, this house is gone.
Well, there you go, man. Yeah, there's gonna be huge gains to be made. Absolutely. I'm shocked that we got below 10 cents again, but yeah, I'm buying. I'm not stressed at all because it's a staking coin. We're meant to hold it for a long time, so I just buy the dip.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way to do it for sure. The thing that I know there's a lot of people that are hurting right now because, like what you said, B-Hex, they've put so much, they put everything they have into it, and they're seeing this big drop, and they're going, "How am I going to survive?" And I mean, just what I can say is be patient, and when there's a dip, it comes back even stronger. So it's not financial advice by any means, but just be patient because I think we're all going to be happy at some point here pretty quick. So,
Yeah.
You can hold.
yep.
The good principle is don't invest more than you can afford to lose, right?
Exactly.
And I know there's people that have, and that, you know, that's one of the great things about the RH system, though, is that it's stopped people from doing that. You know, they've typically, when I got into crypto, you would just like try to buy low and sell high, and you would lose your tail because you're just chasing the market. You know, so it's a different world now with the new ecosystem that we have. So
Absolutely, it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I definitely foresee Pulse Chain being probably top 3 and the dominating pulse blockchain in the next decade. One of the dominating. Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be exciting. We're in the right place at the right time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Well, Kripty, we're running an hour, and we're so happy that you came on, and we'd love to have you on again at some point. If you ever something exciting comes up in your world and you want to jump back on with us, just hit us up. We'd love to have you anytime. We love your energy, and Mad Energy is just unbelievable what they're doing, and
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. I'm sure you'd love to connect with George Wenz too, because what he has with updates and things and knowledge since he's been around. Oh my gosh, you guys would love him. But yeah, really fun show. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much. You have a good evening.
You too. All right, bye guys.
Bye. CryptyGirl, what great energy, huh? It's like amazing.
Yeah, you can't help but to smile like the whole time.
I know.
You know, sometimes we talk to devs, and I think my face is like so crunched up because I'm like, what is he saying? What is he talking about? But even though I didn't know what she was talking about all the time, her energy was so, you know, infectious that I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely for sure. It's nice to have that in the community. I mean, you're a lot like her too. You're always smiling. So you powerful women in the community are just lifting up people. It's great, and amazing. So that's all I got tonight. What you got? You got anything else we need to chat about?
I just encourage the people to go to ksv.tv to check out what we have going on for the tour. So excited about this golf tournament. I know you're helping me out with something, so we're going to put out some information a little later, some flyers and all kind of promo stuff. But it's going to be great, and I'm just excited to do something big for the community again.
Yeah. And I'll plug ours, hexcommunityjobs.com. If you want to post, you're looking for help on any projects, go post something. And if you have some talent and you want to go post it, you can go post. It's basically like a freelancer site. Go post your skills, and somebody might pick you up and put you to work. So anyway, go to mad.energy. Make sure you go check out that great website and what they're doing, and might be a good investment for you. Not financial advice, but might be a good investment for you. So B-Hex, I think that's a night. Thank you so much for all you do, and I'll see you next time.
See you later.